Mga kababayan, ang ating pinakamamahal na presidente sa ating bansang Pilipinas, ang ating pinakamamahal si Presidente Fidel B. Ramos sa kanyang arrival dito sa ating Labor Day. Mga kababayan, welcome President Ramos on your being the guest speaker today. In the name of the Joint Labor Day Committee, we welcome you, Mr. President, from your trip abroad also. Thank you. Salamat po. Thank you.
At ngayon, dumating na tayo sa pinakatampok at magbibigay buhay na bahagi ng ating palatuntunan sa umagang ito. Ito po ang bahagi na magbibigay katugunan sa mga binasa ni Ernie Verceles na manifesto. At ang magpapakilala po sa magbibigay katugunan sa ating mga karainan ay walang iba kundi ang diwatang nililiyag ng mga manggagawa sa ating bayan, walang iba kundi si Nieves Confeso.
Maraming salamat din mga mahal na kapwa manggagawa. Ito na po ang ating hinihintay, ang ating mahal na presidente, si Presidente Fidel V. Ramos.
Maraming salamat, Kalihim Nieves Confesor. Maraming salamat, Kalihim Nieves Confesor, ang masipag na muse ng mga manggagawa. Binabati ko rin si Senator Ernesto Boy Herrera, champion na manggagawa sa Senado at sa ating pamahalaan. Presidente Attorney Kito Mendoza ng TUCP. Ang mga kagalang-galang na kongresista na kasama natin sa pagdiriwang na ito, Congressman Dante Liban, Congressman Monjabar, Congressman Villavisa, Congressman Suiro de la Cruz, Congressman Ernie Verceles, Congressman Natchet Timdihon, ang chairman ng LACC, si Daniel Dalin, si kapatid na Vladimir Tupas at ang ating masipag na Master of Ceremonies, si Ding Dinglasan, si Vice President Valerio ng TUCP, Mayor Alfredo Lim ng Maynila, aking padadala si Fred Lim sa China bilang puno ng isang bagong delegasyon dahil sa siya ay maraming kamag-anak sa China. Mga namumuno ng mga iba't ibang organisasyon na mga manggagawa, aking mga katulong sa gobyerno, mga kabataan, mga kababaihan, mga veterano, mga kabalikat, at kakapit-bisig, ating mga kababayan na manggagawa, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maayong aga kaninyong tanan mga palangga kong kaigsoon. Naimbag nga aldaw amin kakabsat ken kagayem. Mga agawad si kayo. Amin niya kabalayan. Maayong aga sa inyong tanan mga kasimanwa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Peace with you. Mga kapatid, ako po ay nagagalak at natutuwa dahil sa kami kila Nieves, si Roy Navarro, at ang mga iba pang kasama sa delegasyon na nagpunta sa China at Hong Kong ay nakadating dito sa ating 107th anniversary celebration according to schedule. Alam po ninyo, halos ito si Nieves at saka si Roy ay hindi na natulog kagabi doon sa aming hotel sa Hong Kong. Dahil sa sila ay nagbabalot at nagbabalot ng mga maraming pasalubong. Para sa ating mga manggagawa. At kaninang alas 4 ako'y kanilang ginising at pinakita sa akin yung kanilang mga ihinanda. At ang tanong sa akin Mr. President, do you think this is enough for our Labor Day celebration? Because we really have to give pasalubong from China and from Hong Kong. At sabi ko naman sa kanila ang dami-dami niyan. Ang daming balutan na yan. At maliit yung ating airplano. At kayong dalawa ay medyo mabibigat na opisyal. Kaya sabi ko, maaring isakay lahat yan dahil sa we must maximize our package. Ngunit, kailangan iwanan ninyo sa Hong Kong yung inyong mga maleta at padadala na lamang sa Philippine Airlines. At ganun po ang nangyari. And here we are. Mga kapatid, may kasabihan na kung binalak ng ating Panginoon Diyos na bumuo ng isang uri ng tao na walang gagawin kung hindi kumain, binigyan na lamang sana sila ng puro bibig at walang kamay. At kung binalak ng Panginoon Diyos na bumuo ng isang uri ng tao na walang gagawin kung hindi magtrabaho, binigyan na lamang sana sila ng puro kamay at walang bibig. Ngunit, ang makapangyarihang Diyos sa kanyang katalinuhan ay nagbigay sa sangkatauhan ng kamay at bibig upang tayo'y makapaghanap buhay ng marangal at makamtan natin ang bunga ng ating pinaghirapan. Ito ang pangako ng ating hinaharap upang makamtan natin lahat ang minimiti ng bawat isa. Hindi lamang ang mga mahigpit na pangangailangan, kundi pati na rin ang mga bagay na makapagdudulot ng kaunting ginhawa, tulad ng makakain 3 beses sa isang araw, pananamit, bubong na ating masisilungan, matatag na trabaho, sapat na kita, edukasyon para sa ating mga anak, kalusugan ng bawat isa, pagtatanggol ng ating karapatan, mabilis na pagtakbo ng katarungan at kapayapaan sa lahat na dako. Mga kapatid, sa dulo ng ating tenure of office sa 1998, ang ating hinahangad ay magkaroon ng per capita income of at least $1,000. The incidence of poverty by that time should have gone down from over 50% to 30%. And the economy should have grown by an average of some 7.6% annually. Investment should have risen from 22% of gross domestic product to 30%. Jobs shall be generated at an average of 1 million annually, so that unemployment shall have gone down from 10.3% to 6.6%. Ang isa pong maaaring pasalubong para sa inyo sa pamamagitan ng aming biyahe sa China at sa Hong Kong ay ating nakikita, mga kapatid, ang increased job opportunities dahil sa ang China at ang Hong Kong ay nagbigay ng kanilang commitment na sila ay mag-i-invest at they will trade more with the Philippines, resulting in more Philippine sales and exports to those two places. But there are 3 preconditions to the attainment of our vision, which is the vision articulated by Congressman Ernie Berceles, as well as the UCP President Tito Mendoza, and by LAC President Chairman Danny Bonifay, Danny Adralin, just now. And these are the following. First, there is a need for cultural rebirth and moral recovery that tap and exploit the wellsprings of Filipino values, such as love of peace and the bayanihan spirit of pagkakaisa at pagsasama-sama, resourcefulness and enterprise. Values that must be revived to supplant the culture of confrontation and divisiveness, which today, unfortunately, still permits Philippine society. The labor movement should now set aside its internal differences for the common good, not necessarily to fall in line under one ideology, but to unite under the common aims of development so that it may become an instrument for the economic and social empowerment of our workers. The ongoing review of the labor code should reflect the constitutional preference for cooperative, voluntary, and integrative approaches in labor management relations and the administration of labor justice. The second precondition is the expansion of the economy through the dismantling of monopolies and cartels that control prices or limit the delivery of services. Also, the privatization of government corporations without ruling out the possibility of sharing their management or ownership with workers and liberalizing trade to enhance competition. Our economic development will not be advanced at the expense of workers' rights. Nor do I subscribe to the trickle-down economics that you do not want. I do not subscribe to it either, where the workers would be the last to enjoy the benefits of economic growth. Instead, let us promote industrial peace, from which all parties and the nation itself would profit. Our vision is for each one to play a definite role and discharge a specific responsibility within the development process to be driven by competitive, efficient, highly skilled, motivated, and disciplined workforce whose improved standards of living are premised on higher levels of productivity. The third precondition is a solid infrastructure base, including an expeditious solution to the power crisis, if need be, with the exercise of my special powers. I assure you, I will not hesitate to use their powers under the Electricity Power Crisis Act in order to speed up the solution of our power and energy problem. To achieve all of this, I have programmed 20 specific measures to be undertaken without delay. And I have already signed the directives pertaining to this. Measures that now must be implemented by various departments and agencies of the government, as well as the proposals for legislative action. Number one, for workers displaced by the power crisis, I have authorized the establishment of a 1 billion peso loan facility to be sourced from the reserves of the State Insurance Fund, or SIF. Some 438 million pesos shall be made available immediately. I have instructed the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, or HUDCC, chaired by Chairman Attorney Junicio de la Serna, to review the home lending programs of the key housing and funding agencies so as to make decent housing accessible to workers. Number three, I have also instructed the HUDCC to expand the National Shelter Program's coverage to include dormitory-type facilities in strategic areas such as in industrial estates in order to allow workers to reside near their workstations at rentals below market prices. For this program to succeed, I call upon the employers to support the government's housing program to enable the workers to become homeowners more easily. On health care, I have instructed the Department of Labor and Employment and the Employees Compensation Commission to effect immediately the establishment of industrial clinics. 5, for overseas workers, I direct the DOLE to accelerate and expand the implementation of livelihood, credit, and housing programs through the assistance of the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA. And I also direct the DOLE to set up industry boards for the protection of the rights of overseas entertainers. Number 6, effective immediately, employee compensation pension shall be increased by 10%. This increase is expected to benefit close to 20,000 pensioners, with disbursements amounting to 13 million pesos for this year alone and another 78 million pesos in the next 5 years. At the same time, supplemental allowances for disabled workers shall also be increased to 575 pesos, while funeral expense benefits shall be increased to 10,000 pesos. The increase in supplemental allowances and funeral grants will total some 6 million pesos in 1993 and 56 million pesos in the next 5 years. These increased benefits will not require a corresponding increase in the workers and their employers' contributions to the system. I am also authorizing the grant of an additional 10 million pesos from the President's Social Fund for the Workers' Fund to be used to support livelihood programs of organized workers. And I have here 5 million pesos check in the name of the Kaunlaran ng mga Manggagawang Pilipino Incorporated or KAMPI, which has been identified as the project director for this livelihood fund, but which will be answerable to the entire organized labor movement. Ito po ang first installment pa lamang. There is still 5 million pesos coming to you. May I now turn this over to Chairman Ting Jaime. Salamat po. Number 8, I direct the DOLE, the NEDA, the Department of Budget and Management, and the Department of Education, Culture and Sports to work out a scheme through which the equivalent of 5% of our GNP would be invested in human resource development. I also direct the DOLE to immediately submit to me an employment and manpower plan to complement the NEDA's medium-term Philippine Development Plan, making sure that the interests and the concerns of the labor sector are intimately included and attended to in the DOLE portion of our medium-term development plan, so that we can redirect and upgrade. Pakinggan po ninyo ito. So that we can redirect and upgrade the utilization of our human resources from their basically agricultural pattern to an agro-industrial one. Ito po ang aming isang mahalagang obserbasyon sa China, that from an 80% agriculturally based workforce, they now have converted half of that farmer group, so that now they have 40% in industry, 40% remaining in agriculture, and 20% working in services. At yan po ay isang susi ng pagpalaganap ng ekonomiya ng probinsya ng Guangdong sa China, Canton Province, which has a population just like ours of 65 million people, but a land area of only 178,000 square kilometers, or roughly 60% of our Philippine land area of 300,000 square kilometers. And yet, they are able to produce a GNP in that province alone, almost as big as the GNP of the Philippines itself. And so that is one thing that we must redirect and ensure in the future, which is a restructuring of the pattern of our workforce from basically agriculture to a balanced agro-industrial workforce. Number 10, even as I commend the DOL's special program for the employment of students starting this summer under their SFES program, I also direct the DOL to implement a national program to help the youth make effective career choices as early as possible to the limit of their potential. 11, I also call on the employers to establish training fund accounts subject to guidelines to be drawn up by DOL within the framework of the tax incentive scheme in the Labor Code. Number 12, I have authorized, effective today, the grant of additional compensation of 500 pesos per month to be paid to public school teachers with salary grade up to grade 25, and to the uniformed personnel of the Philippine National Police up to the rank of superintendent, and the uniformed personnel of the armed forces up to the rank of lieutenant colonel. And to the rest of our government personnel, an additional allowance of 500 pesos, not subject to GSIS, HDMF premiums, and income tax deductions, pending its formal integration into the basic pay of such personnel in the future. Number 13, a review of the salary standardization law covering civil service employees is already underway. And I have given the review committee 30 days from now to submit to me their recommendations regarding the upgrading of salaries in the public sector. Number 14, to speed up the administration of labor justice, I direct the DOLE and the NLRC to immediately address the backlog of cases by effecting the immediate reassignment of labor arbiters in regions where there is an overload of cases. I want the NLRC to reduce its case backlogs by 60% by the end of this year and to make its docket as current as possible within 2 years from now, or else. Number 15, I hereby instruct the DOLE to formulate the appropriate legislative proposals for the possible grant of a 10-day sick leave and the increase of the 5-day service incentive leave for workers in the private sector. And on the implementation of absentee voting for those away from their voting centers, including overseas contract workers, soldiers on duty away from their stations, as well as all others who cannot be present even if they want to in their voting centers on election day. All of this is on top of the ongoing review of the Labor Code, which should result in proposed revisions thereto, which I can certify to Congress as soon as possible. Number 16, shortly, I will also be certifying to Congress 4 major bills, specifically those concerning A, the grant of paternity leave. B, paternity leave for those that are married. B, the portability of SSS and GSIS membership together with benefits thereof. C, the establishment of an unemployment welfare program. And D, the elimination of exemptions from SSS coverage. Seventeen, I have already nominated several representatives to Congress from the labor sector, and I am happy that several of them have already been confirmed by the Commission on Appointments. But there are some more who were not considered. Maybe they were not scheduled, but certainly they were not rejected by the Commission in the last session. I intend to renominate those that were not considered at that time. And so again, I call upon the Commission on Appointments to confirm as soon as possible all those remaining from the ranks of labor who are not yet confirmed. And I call upon Congress also to do now its part by passing the proper enabling law that will facilitate the election of sectoral representatives in local government units. I shall appoint your representatives either as members, observers, or advisors, depending on what is provided by law, to the NEDA Board, the Energy Regulatory Board, and the Monetary Board as soon as possible. And I have also authorized through Executive Order 21 the deputation of labor organizations in monitoring prices of basic commodities and the appointment of labor representatives in the price coordinating councils at both local and national level. Number 19, last February I transmitted to the Senate the recommendations of the Tripartite Industrial Peace Council for the ratification of 4 International Labor Organization conventions on social security for migrant workers and seafarers. And these are the Equality of Treatment Conventions number 19 and 118, the Maintenance of Social Security Rights Convention number 157, and Social Security Convention number 165, so that Filipino workers abroad can enjoy benefits similar to those granted to nationals of other foreign countries. Number 20, and finally, for today, in recognition of workers' contributions to the development programs of our country, I am instituting an annual Presidential Merit Award for outstanding workers who qualify according to criterion guidelines to be determined by a tripartite body which I shall appoint. Mga kapatid na manggagawa, fellow workers, The empowerment of our workers, as I have outlined, is an important component of our overall program for people empowerment. Walang kasing halaga ng pagbibigay ng kapangyarihan sa ating mga manggagawa. This is the most important portion of our program of people empowerment because it is from the enlightened and protected workers from whom we hope to get the increased productivity that will help move our country forward in our quest for economic progress. But workers' empowerment can only be realized through the collective responsibility and implementation of all sectors. Productivity and global competitiveness are our goals. And so, let us now act together to achieve these objectives. Otherwise, we shall end up still the sick man of Asia instead of the economic dragon that we aspire to be by the year 2000. I am confident that we can do it. Mga kababayan, mga kasamang manggagawa, ang aking paniwala ay kahit anuman ang krisis, kahit anuman ang kalamidad, kahit anuman ang kahirapan, ay kaya ito ng Pilipino kung tayo ay nagkakaisa, kung tayo ay nagsasama-sama, at kung tayo ay nagtutulong-tulungan. Kaya huwag niyong kalimutan, ito ang ating simbolo. Thumbs up mga Pilipino. Kaya natin ito. Kung kaya natin, isigaw natin para ito ay maringig doon sa China. Kaya ba natin ito? Salamat po. Mabuhay ang manggagawang Pilipino. Mabuhay ang ating mahal na Republikang Pilipinas. Salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Mga kasama, dito po nagtatapos ang ating palatuntunan. At dahil sa sangkatutakang ibinigay na pasalubong sa atin ng Pangulo, hinihiling ko sa inyo na pasalubungan naman siya ng isang matikabong palakpakan. Mabuhay si Pangulong Ramos! Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
tinatanong mo kung anong nasabi ni Presidente ngayon. Other than the package of benefits, ang klaro sa kanyang pagsasabi, yung commitment ng kanyang administrasyon towards supporting unionism, organization, at saka workers' rights. And I think that was very critical at this point sapagkat marami siguro dito sa manifesto ay medyo nagtatanong nga kung ano ang posisyon niya dyan. Pangalawa ay pinagbigyan niya at sinabi niya na only for today ang kanyang mga beneficios ay ganito. I think the message is that on May Day, he will give this but we should not wait for next year's May Day for the other benefits to come, okay? Kaya para sa araw na ito ay yung 1 billion emergency loan fund para sa mga nasalanta nitong power crisis. At pangalawa ay yung sinasabi nga or kinocomplain ng ating labor na yung labor justice natin na hindi pa gaanong mabilis. Kaya inatasan niya ang NLRC at ang DOL na yung backlog ay tapusin na. At ang sabi nga niya, or else. No? Medyo takot na kami dyan. Pangatlo, yung ibang benefits ay yung pag-increase ng mga benepisyo sa SSS at ECC. Pangapat ay yung kasi umaakyat yung ating mga incidences ng mga napipinsala sa workplace. Kaya naatasan din na mag-set aside kami ng pondo para sa industrial clinics o industrial clinics na pwedeng ilagay sa existing hospitals ngayon. At pagkatapos niya na yung sa livelihood fund na ibibigay niya at naibigay na dito sa workers fund na itinalaga noong 2 years ago, ay punondohan na naman niya. In addition to that, doon sa government sector, ay yung 500 pesos for the police, for the teachers, as well as the rest of government, and the possible increase in the salary standardization law in next year's review. Other than that, doon din ang kanyang pinocus was on the empowerment of the unions. And sabi nga niya, ay naitalaga niya na yung sectoral reps sa Congress. But in addition to that, ang sinabi niya, pinromesa niya na yung labor representatives ay sa NEDA, sa Monetary Board, at saka sa Energy Regulatory Board ay kanyang i-appoint na as soon as possible.
Given these the support that the president is giving to to unionism, organized labor, is this now taking shape a policy of government for unionism, for organized labor?
If there is anything very clear here, the president has stood by the unions and that he would like the organization of such unions. As a matter of fact, medyo klaro siya nung sinabi niya na hindi pwedeng fragmented. Na for the common good, the unions must come together. At he's looking forward to that. At ano pang matutulong niya upang maigawayan o maisagawayan, I think the unions and labor can expect that much from the president, that much support.
Meron pong nabanggit ang Pangulo doon po sa public sector na pag-increase po ng 500 pesos. Ano po ang ano naman po ang para sa private sector workers?
Okay. For the private sector nga, hindi naman pwede si Presidente magdikta. No? Iba na ang ating araw ngayon. Oo. That's right. But that one has to go through Congress or to the regional wage boards. Ang ano lang ni Presidente dyan is pumasok tayo dyan sa channel na yan sapagkat tapos na mga araw ng diktadura at noon naman talaga every May 1 ay nagkakadikta tayo ng minimum wage. Ngunit tinitingnan yan at ang ano nga niya is that you have to have a unified union, a strong one, for even minimum wages issues to be, for the minimum wage to be increased. Sapat ganyan na ang demokrasya.
Just one final statement para sa ating mga manggagawang nanonood po ngayon.
In addition to that then, ang maganda rito, hindi nyo na makikita nyo, yun siyang yung wage-related benefits niya ay magsa-certify siya ng bill for one, yung pag-increase ng 5-day service incentive leave from 5 to 10 days. Sapagkat marami sa mga gawa natin ngayon, 5 araw lang sila pwedeng magbakasyon. And then to now also on top of the 10-day service incentive leave, he will certify a bill moving for another 10 days sick leave. This will give 20 days leave. And this is wage related sapagkat in a way that is equal to a minimum wage increase, 20 days in a year, okay? So makikita mo dyan na while the minimum wage is going to be placed doon sa legal channels na tinalaga ng ating Kongreso, ay mayroon din magagawa naman si Presidente in terms of other wage benefits. Sa ating manggagawa, ngayong araw na ito ay pinagdiriwang natin at dapat naman na si Presidente rin ay nakiisa sa atin. At ang una nga niyang ang commitment niya to unionism, commitment niya sa organisasyon, I think more than the package of benefits was a very good way of celebrating May 1. For after all, May 1 is labor organization, is for the labor union, is for the worker. At yung package of benefits there, bilyon-bilyon na yan, at yan ang naman sa pagtingin niya at ng kanyang mga tao, ay yun ang sapat. At sabi niya nga, only for today. Sapagat bukas, huwag na ho tayong maghintay ng susunod na May 1 upang makakita pa ng ibang benepisyo sapagkat yan, pag nakita na ay ibibigay pa rin.
Okay, maraming salamat po.
Thank
And
you.
welcome back. Okay mga kasama, ang ating kalihim ng Department of Labor and Employment, Nieves Confesor, summing up the points of today's remarks given by the President. It's a pretty lengthy one, 20 points all in fact, given to both private sector and public sector workers. Tulad nga po na nang sabi ng ating kalihim Confesor, hindi lamang po maghihintay tayo ng isa pang taon para magkaroon ng dagdag na benepisyo para sa ating mga manggagawa, kundi itong administrasyon po ay maghahanap pa po ng mga paraan kung paano mapapabuti pa ang kalagayan. Ito po si Toby Nebrida, nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagpapanood at sa aming pagsasahing papawid ng Labor Day celebrations ngayong araw na ito sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium. Magandang tanghali po.